Alright, so all loaded to go to the scrapyard. I didn't show you that before. It was the truck completely full from last night, Memorial Day, Tuesday night, for Tuesday's trash. For reference of what video that was. So, got it all, well, mostly pulled out, stripped, and then reloaded with everything, and with the other junk I got here. So, actually, I pretty much got everything in, which I'm quite impressed with. Because I usually don't, and this time I pretty much did get everything loaded. So, like I said, truck pretty much completely full. I mean, there's like a little bit of space right here, and this microwave wasn't completely filled. I could have filled it with the rest of the stuff that was in that bucket, but I didn't think about adding the bucket stuff till the end, because otherwise that obviously would have made more sense. Instead of this light ass inverter piece of junk that takes up a lot of space and weighs nothing, you know, could have filled it up a bit, but whatever. Not a big deal. I got that sink in there, all stripped out. Like I said, everything from last night is in there, and then this is the bin of stuff from last night that needs to be further processed. It looks fuller than it is because there's the two lights in there that kind of take up a lot of space. So I mean, like I said, it's not as full as it looks. But there's also that fan, that the pool motor, you know, the trash cans. Like I said, I got everything out of here except for this big piece. Nice soup down there. I got all the aluminum. That's a trip for a different day. Like I said, a little bit of stuff in here. Again, goes along with that good stuff. The computer, you know, aluminum, Kirby. So, like I said, I pretty much got everything other than like that Black & Decker trimmer, that other trimmer thing down there, and like a VCR in the back. Like, pretty much everything in terms of shred. Just a couple things, and then obviously I'll have some more shred when I'm done processing this. You know, get the brass off of the cast iron pipes, and you know, the fans, get the motors off, so I'll have the bottom pieces. You know, so only 3 fans. I could have swore I had more. No, I think there's 4. There's another one in here. Yeah, black one. I was about to say. I know I had more than that. I say I had, I don't know, 5 lamps. You can see them all here now. Down here. So, like I said, it's already like 1 o'clock, and I told my aunt I was gonna meet her at her storage at 1 o'clock, to help her move crap around, get rid of junk, organize that, because she's got a few totes at her uncle's house that need to go. Otherwise, we're throwing them out. So, of course, I gotta help her over at storage. So I gotta do that. But first, we gotta get rid of this junk. That didn't sound very shut. That sounds better. So, yeah, shut. Yeah, it's 12:55. It's 1 o'clock now. So I didn't even touch all the stuff in the passenger seat, and then there's some more stuff underneath here too that I didn't even get to. I'll worry about it later. It's not in the way. Just wanted to get the majority of this out of here. And really, I need all day to process my scrap, but that's not going to happen since she needs me for that. Her neighbor, I got a job to do with him tomorrow, so that'll take up a couple hours probably, and then Friday, hopefully, I will have time to do some stuff. And I should probably take this box in the cat feeder, which I had to go steal from the old house because Amazon, for some reason, switched our address to the old one, despite the fact it's been a year now since we've lived there. And like, it switched it to the default house. I don't know why. It made 0 sense because I've ordered, you know, stuff to this house for a year now, so I don't freaking know. So I don't know. I had to go steal it back. So I had to go do that, and then I'm gonna have to go do it again tomorrow because there's another package that I ordered. Because of course I ordered 2 things on that order that both got sent to the old house. And the other thing I definitely want to go get, it's a $240 microphone for my stringer camera. So I definitely want to go get that. Hopefully when I'm over there tomorrow for the neighbor, I can go snatch it. For the aunt's neighbor, I can go snatch it while I'm over there. Hopefully it's delivered by then. All right, let's go make our $25, $30 maybe. This is decently heavy. I'd imagine this is probably 400 pounds, if I had to guess. I don't know. Let's go find out. Alright, hopefully you can hear me over the AC. I'm not turning it off. It's hot as hell here. It's 80 degrees. So, shred 360 pounds, 160 gross ton still, 25.71, 26 bucks. So, kind of not the greatest, but what do you want? And of course, obviously, it doesn't include all this other stuff that I got last night, which is probably another 20 bucks at least, if I had to guess. Of course, some of that shred wasn't from just last night, it was a mix, but you could fill that in for whatever stuff I had to take out that I'll deal with later, and whatever, close enough, even stuff out. Alright, let's get going. I gotta stop and get gas too, so kiss that $26 goodbye already. So, although surprisingly, gas in Cleveland is way more expensive. It was like $4.89 I was paying when I had to fill up before I left. Whereas up here it's $4.55. So, all right. So another quick scrap yard run. This is predominantly stuff from my grandmother's house. Stuff she had in the attic and the basement. That she's moving pretty much next week now, in with her aunt. So she had some scrap for me, and then I threw in a couple pieces, things that I had lying around that pipe that I couldn't fit in yesterday. These lights that I had in the back, and this DVD VCR thing that I found that was in the back. So I threw that in there. So it's not gonna be a lot, but I just gotta get it out of here. It takes up most of my truck. There's no point to throw it all out on the ground here to then just have to load it back like tomorrow or whatever. I might as well just take it in now. Because of course, depending on what I find tonight, obviously, I'm going out tonight, so I need an empty truck. And obviously, there's no point in just throwing this all on the ground when I already have it all loaded, and I have the ability to go to the scrapyard this morning. So, like I said, on the bucket of scrap too that I couldn't fit, I threw that in there as well. So, like I said, it's gonna be like 200 pounds maybe, if that. But gotta get it out of here. So, is what it is. I mean, these have a little bit of weight to them right here. It's the bracket and stuff for this ubiquitous wire shelving. So it's not that big of a deal. Well, what's gonna be a big deal is getting out of our damn driveway. Because I don't know if you can tell, the neighbors having their driveway redone, and they have a bigger cement truck here than they did yesterday, and it's blocking the driveway just a little bit. The truck on the other side's fine, but I mean, he's overlapping the driveway a bit, and this driveway is already a pain in the ass to get out of, as it is. And it's even worse now. The driveway's blocked and got all these big trucks in the way. And I mean, now I know how the neighbors felt when we had our driveway redone. Although for the most part, they didn't park in the street; they parked on our lawn. They had their big trailer parked up in the lawn, or they parked across the street. Really, the only thing that was there was the cement truck, and maybe like a truck or two. I mean, for the most part, they didn't block the damn street up. So go do that, and then I got a couple other things to do. So let's get going. All right, that was only 260 pounds, 160 gross ton still, 1857, so 19 bucks. Well, not too bad. I mean, there was a little bit of non-ferrous too that I got from her house as well. There was another box that had some aluminum and some brass and stainless stuff probably. So, I mean, not too bad. What are you gonna do? It was that or throw it to the curb and let someone else get the 20 bucks. So I mean, it was probably like I said, like 25 bucks. Granted, yeah, a little bit of that was from stuff I threw in there, but not much, like 20 pounds maybe. So, anyways, not bad. All right, I got other things to do, so we'll see you guys tonight on the curbs. All right, we are all loaded up. I stuffed it to the max. I took a little bit extra time to just stuff it, so I don't have to make 2 trips of shred. Like I said, I got everything in there that I wanted, shred-wise. So, mirror for mirror, don't need to see out that. You got side mirrors for that. So, like I said, I got everything I wanted, stuff that was in the can and all that. Like I said, so there's just this little bit of aluminum. So the motor got to pop off. The, other non-ferrous, the cords mostly, a couple motors. I said battery, some other junk. I mean, there's this, but that kind of needs to be like its own load. First thing in on the bottom. And then I could probably, maybe. And there's like these couple things that I'll just throw in a can. And it can stay till I go later. So that's that. I'll take this with me. I forgot. I was taking that with me. Good thing I walked back there. See if I can shove this in somewhere. It's kind of tight. All right, I won't walk back there because the neighbor behind us, she's having landscape work done of some kind. There's guys out there. I'm talking to myself. Not that there's anything to show back there, anyways. Oh, something just fell over there. The only thing really I didn't fit in was the two little buckets I keep in the workshop. I mean, that's it, because there's nothing to dump them into. Is the well, I guess there's the little toaster oven and the other air fryer thing. I could have shoved a little bit in there, but it holds so little, it's not even worth trying to shove it in. Anyways, we'll throw this lamp in and then we'll go cash this in and get our $30. It's probably 400 pounds, maybe. I don't know. I mean, we might be pushing it at 400. It's kind of it's quite a lot of light, fluffy stuff in here, kind of. I'll be happy if I hit 400 pounds. So we'll go cash this in and then we'll go do the aluminum. All right, I'll load it up on aluminum. So I got all those blind things from construction roll off. A little bit of aluminum holes that I found from that awning. The BX, the light fixtures, the gutters and stuff that I just found. All the aluminum like fascia and stuff like that. Siding kind of stuff. All folded up and in there, and that's pretty much it for aluminum. I'm thinking about keeping that piece because it's like almost tall enough for the house. Because the gutter in the back corner needs some work. So that piece might work. I guess we'll leave that for now. We can always just scrap it later. Well, that's it. That's it for aluminum. So let's go get our. I'd like $100, but I don't think we got that much. I don't think we got that much weight in there. $100 would be nice though. Was that shut? That didn't sound like it. It must have been. Yeah, it's already 2:30 now. By the time we're done with this, it'll be like 3 o'clock. So I'll finish. Yeah, the cans, and then a little bit of processing from stuff I got last night, and then the cans, and then I got nope, trunk wasn't shut. I say it didn't sound like it. I'll finish stripping what I got. Finish processing everything. Go through the bottles, get those processed, and then I got lawns to do. And then that's it for today. Maybe we'll do a non-ferrous run tomorrow. We'll see kind of what I got. Because of course I got to work on Thursday. I can't get this glove off with one hand. Of course I got to work Thursday morning when I would have to go. When I would have my load from Wednesday night. So we'll see. We'll figure something out. Alright, so we'll go over the two receipts for today. So shred 420 pounds, 160 a gross ton, $30 even. Was right on the money on that. Old sheet 160 pounds, 60 cents a pound, 96. I was just short of my $100 that I wanted. So I mean, still not bad. 100 and what's that? 126 bucks. So still not bad for today's work. And then, like I said, there's still all that non-ferrous stuff, which will probably be, like I said, maybe tomorrow, Friday. We'll see when I get around to it. But I think it'll probably end up included right after this, anyways. So whenever I get around to it. All right, load 2. Got some good stuff. Number 2, copper. Number 1, copper. Number 1, wire. Stainless. Yeah, stainless. Batteries kind of down in there. two things of brass, Romex, a little more stainless right there, and then motors. There you go, you can see the batteries over there. So this should be a pretty good load. I don't know, 200 bucks. Sounds good to me. I guess we'll go find out. Cause that's pretty much everything that was back here. There's still like a few things, like I said, get the brass off of that, and then these faucets, deal with them, even though I don't think there's gonna be much brass, because these things are junk. And then actually on that other sink that I had, that smaller one, the faucet was plastic, but luckily the bottom piece was brass, so at least that was still worth taking. Even though the faucet was friggin' plastic, I didn't realize it was a plastic piece of junk. But the bottom had good brass on it, so worked out. So leaving my little bit of aluminum, leaving the rotors. I was gonna take them, but then James said that there'd probably be more because he still has to do. Sounds like his back brakes need done at least. So, and then there's two sitting out on the table from when our dad did his, but I'm not sure what he was doing with the rotors. Even though I think he was getting rid of them because I'm pretty sure they got ruined. Like, or at least one of them did, because a rock or something got stuck in there, so it like scraped the hell out of it. So, like I said, I'm pretty sure they were junk. So, I'm not entirely sure. But otherwise, we're pretty much all cleaned out. All I'm gonna have is my number 2 wire, and then a little bit of aluminum once I finish cleaning that up. A little bit of Christmas lights, not worth taking, and then a little bit of steel BX, again, not really worth taking. The Romex kind of isn't either, but I'll just get it out of here. Well, the Romex had in 2 bins, so I wanted to get it out of here, put it into one. But like this, it can just sit here in the corner and not be in the way, really. Even though, like I said, I really don't think I'm going to get any more steel Romex, or not Romex, steel BX. I really probably should have just left that little bit that I did find, because it's not, because I just don't find it very often, and it's not worth taking. And then I threw in the one little piece of aluminum BX that's in there. They got flattened, so the wire is not coming out. Getting the wire out of that's going to be impossible, so I just threw it in there. Not a big deal. So like I said, that's pretty much it. I just got a little bit of stuff in here to deal with, and that. That KitchenAid mixer, I did test it. It works good, and no, that's the bowl for it, I think. Yeah, this one was from that other mixer that was no good that I got rid of. I threw that in shred today, so. Alright, let's go cash this in. Like I said, get my, I don't know, 200 bucks maybe. Let's go find out. Alright, back home, let's go over the receipt. So earlier, we had 400 pounds of shred, which was way more than I thought. That did not look like it was anything heavy. So that was quite a shock. So that was 400 pounds, 160 gross ton, 2857. So 29 bucks. And the good stuff. The non-ferrous strip here. So that's 266 pounds of motors. Hey, actually they went up 25 cents a pound. They were 19. So that was 66.50. Number 2 insulated. That was the Romex. 8 pounds, $1.80 a pound, 14.40. Shut up, radio. I should have not turned them on before I started this, but whatever. Battery, 63 pounds, 15 cents a pound, 9.45. Number 1 insulated, 15 pounds, 2.40 a pound, 36 bucks. Now here's the real good stuff. Brass, 47 pounds, 2.50 a pound, 117.5. And then stainless steel, 41 pounds, 30 cents a pound, 12.30. Grand total, 256 bucks. So that was nice. And now you'll notice I didn't have my copper on there. I didn't end up turning it in. I could have. I mean, by the time I got there, it was like 3:50. I mean, and they closed at 4:30. So, I mean, I could have thrown it on there real quick, because it would have taken an extra 2 minutes. Because I was just worried about the timing on it, because I know, obviously, the closer it is to closing, they don't want to have to deal with 80 different categories. They just want it, a couple things, if that, and be done. I know that from one previous time when I went. This was before me and James drove, when I had the neighbor take us. And we got there super late, and they only took a couple of things and not everything because it was super late, close to closing. So, anyways, whatever. We'll just save it up for next time. It wasn't a lot, anyways. I mean, realistic. Well, maybe we would have added 20, $30, which I mean, then I would have took it to a $300 day. But I'll take it.